So the last several animes I reviewed have been relatively cheerful. Bright colors, big personalities, lots of wit and banter, but some days I want a dark and gritty anime. Something where it isn't all bubbles and flowers. Don't get me wrong, I like bubbly and cute. Lucky Star and Ouran High School Host Club are fun, but I don't always want silly. Some days, I want the bubbles to be acid and the flowers to hide a shotgun. This is where 91 Days comes in. It takes place during the Prohibition era, involves the mafia, murders, and smuggling. For those of you not paying attention in class, the Prohibition era was a time when all alcohol was made illegal. This led to a rise in organized crime, as alcohol smuggling and controlling areas with hidden bars, known as speakeasies, became a quick and relatively easy way to make a lot of money. The main character's father was an accountant for the mob when the anime starts. It is the main character's birthday, and the last of his guests leaves just before the mob visits his dad. There has been a coup, and his father has been targeted because of his loyalty to the old Don. The main character watches his family get murdered, his home burnt to the ground, and he escapes. 7 years later, he's a pickpocket, living in a crappy apartment and is understandably dead inside. He receives a letter, and goes back to his hometown to exact his revenge. First of all, the characters in this anime are not superpowered or flawless. Their guns are inaccurate, the fights are quick and brutal, and the decisions the characters make seem to fit the level of general intellect the people of that time would have had. No one is worried about ballistic analysis, or fingerprints, or security cameras, as those things simply haven't been invented yet. So when a room gets shot up, and witnesses are left alive, they don't make a big deal about it later. Most of the discussions so far have been about the three main mafia houses, and how they interact with each other. The main character does kill people. Not hurt, not get arrested, kills them. So far he's only killed one person, but the fallout and the way he manipulates the perceptions of other people is quite lovely. There's a dark intellect that he exhibits that I am just loving. I would go into describing the main players and their interactions, but most of that is in flux, and the dynamic of it is part of the reason why the anime is so good to me. I like this anime. Not so much as to label it one of my top 10, but enough to say that it is certainly worth a watch. After this video is made and uploaded, I'm going to finish watching it. 91 Days is not funny. It isn't bright or positive. It starts with 3 people getting murdered on a young boy's birthday, and gets darker from there. The political intrigue outweighs the fighting, but the politics are easy to follow and the fights are solid and realistic. If you wanted Ghost in the Shell with more of an old-school mafia feel, this anime will probably scratch that itch. I know some of you are anti-subtitles, so I will let you know that there is an English dubcast, and that I'm enjoying it. The voice acting is solid, and there hasn't been any blatant filler lines like Naruto's "Believe it!" So even those of us who typically watch it in Japanese, with or without subtitles, will be able to enjoy the anime in its English voiceover. Now I have only seen up to episode 3, so I'm going to make some guesses here. I am betting that the main character's friend ends up dying at some point, probably to somebody he shoots in an attempt to save his friend, but doesn't finish the job. The main character is going to be wounded, and found out before he finishes his vengeance, but will kill all of his targets, and either die or be caught by police at that point. Again, I have not seen the ending, or watched any spoiler content, so these are just guesses that I am making based off of all the anime I have seen and foreshadowing in the plot. I may be 100% right, or 100% wrong, but that is what I'm predicting.